So Time Madison says, just some of Piers Morgan's wife Instagram posts explains a lot. Bro, here she is, some dude in Speedos washing a car. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Bro. Here she is lying down and says, wanted, pool boy, no experience needed. Yo, man.
All of this could just be passed off as, well, you know, it's just banter. It's just me, ha ha ha. I'm just being so funny on my Instagram. I mean, is having an account on Ashley Madison proof though? I think if your wife or husband has an account on Ashley Madison, then it's probably fair to say they are definitely cheating on you.
So a couple of days ago, Piers Morgan did an interview with Nick Fuentes, and I think it was about an hour and 30 minutes into the interview, Piers Morgan started to press Nick Fuentes on some of his more religious red pill perspective on women and marriage. And because Nick Fuentes, I believe he's like 26, 27 years old, but I know that he's still a virgin because he's a Catholic. He believes in waiting until marriage to lose your virginity, so he is still a virgin. Piers was kind of pressing him on how could you have these types of views towards women if you are a virgin. And this went all fine and dandy when it was all in a controlled environment on Piers Morgan's show. But after a couple of days, Nick's audience started to dig up a bunch of old posts and old things that Piers Morgan's wife has said publicly about their relationship and what goes on behind the scenes, because she's also a journalist too, for those who don't know. But either way, we just went through like 3 weeks of Akash Singh. It seems to now be over. Before that, it was kind of like Aisha Curry. Then you had like Will and Jada. It's something about the stuff that wives start to post publicly that just does not age well. And in this case, it's pretty bad. You guys have to see this.
So Time Madison says, just some of Piers Morgan's wife Instagram posts explains a lot.
Wow.
Here's his wife, Celia Walden. You know each other so well, but I do think somehow there's that smidgen of love somewhere. You wouldn't have married him otherwise, and he's not likely to have an affair, nor for you. Probably a smidgen.
Probably a smidgen is crazy.
Bruh.
And then some people that are married that goes, oh, it's just like friendly banter online, right? Like how married people just kind of go back and forth. We make fun of each other a little bit. That's what happens. But keep listening. There's more.
Bro, here she is, some dude in Speedos washing a car. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Bro.
Oh, no. This is not enough. Look at the hashtag. Hashtag you missed the spot. Hashtag everyday sexism. Hashtag not an object. Hashtag but want to be. As a married person, I'm saying it's one thing to be doing online banter. It's a totally different thing to be saying that you want to be used by another man. That's crazy.
Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to Sunny Saturday in Paris, he'd taken a 3-year vow of absence at the time. Shame. Let lover rule, bro.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And then here she is lying down and says, wanted, pool boy, no experience needed.
But of course, when women come out and they start to say their side of the story, or when they get these hordes of other women that want to be able to say and do these things about and to their husbands, they all just say, oh, it's a misunderstanding. You guys are just being misogynistic, right? But, you know, it's all a misunderstanding. She just wants a pool boy with no experience. It's a misunderstanding.
Man. Hey, yo.
Crazy.
That shit's crazy. This shit is fucking crazy, bruh. This one is the worst. Some dude in a fucking Speedo in L.A. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Bro, what the fuck
Piers,
is going on?
what have you done?
And it's funny because Piers was trying to make fun of Nick calling him a virgin. Bro, I'd rather be a virgin than fucking be a cuck. Like, god damn, man.
And Piers Morgan is supposed to be a Catholic, so why would he be trying to downplay Nick's opinions because he's a virgin when that's a part of his religion? That's also supposed to be a part of Piers Morgan's religion. But either way, I wanted to go back to that video so you guys can get the context of where this started.
Do you think this view of women may be why none of them want to go near you?
Oh, you should see my DMs. It is quite the opposite. They're called the Groy-bets, and I'm actually batting them away. Granted, not all of them are attractive. Some of them are attractive.
Are you actually? Look, just to clear up one of the many theories about you. I have no idea what the answer is. And you
well, I'll tell you straight up, I've been behind the scenes on some of these podcasts and some of these panels where they bring in these women and we talk about relationship dynamics. The guys who stand their ground and the guys who most women online would start to call misogynistic are usually the guys that after the show get the most play and attention from the women. And of course, that's just my own anecdotal experience, but I will say that when you stand your ground on what you actually believe, a lot of women start to respect that.
Answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay.
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
That's going to be a big push coming up here. I'm telling you right now, that's a big question right now when it comes to women being able to vote. Why should women be allowed to vote for policies that send young men to war on their behalf, if you get what I'm saying? So because women don't have to register for selective service like men do, a lot of people are starting to make the argument now, why should they be allowed to vote for things that might send men to fight in wars on their behalf? The people who are the ones that are expected legally and socially to go die in the wars should have more say in what wars we go fight and die in, right? So that's usually the argument around the repeal the 19th Amendment type people. And look, you can say that's a good or bad thing, whatever you want to say, but either way, instead of just going, oh, that makes me angry, you're going to have to find a way to combat that logically, because that just seems to be the direction that things are moving in right now.
Should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer.
Yeah,
I know
so you're a misogynist if you are able to afford your wife the privilege of being able to stay home and not work for a soulless corporation. You misogynist. You don't want your wife to contribute to the GDP and become a cog in the machine. You're sick.
I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow
fossil.
old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's
And
never
he knew
got
that.
laid.
That's the thing, though. You boomers, it's
You think
always
you're an
get
expert in
laid,
women,
free
given
love.
you've never got laid?
That's such a feminine tactic to try to attack a man based on his body count. Why would you? This is funny because so far all of Piers Morgan's arguments have just been shaming tactics. He's been using feminine shaming tactics. Instead of actually combating the argument of selective service when it comes to the ability to vote and having to die for the things that you actually believe in, which is something that's exclusively a male responsibility in society, he's just kind of going, you must be gay. And I think it's funny how a lot of ladies do call men gay to shame them out of certain behaviors, but when men called each other gay, it was seen as like bigoted or homophobic. But women have no problem calling a man gay if they disagree with anything a man says. But either way, Piers Morgan, that's essentially the types of arguments that he's been using so far. He's going, oh, you're a Catholic, you're virgin. Well, of course, Piers, he's Catholic. You're supposed to be Catholic too. That's something you're also supposed to believe in.
Yeah, we are going back to the Stone Age. You're absolutely right. This, you know, you're talking about empathy and your kids are empathetic and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust and you're a misogynist. You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem.
Oh, no.
So yeah, we are going back to the way.
Well, the truth of the matter is the only people that get these types of gigs are people that believe in things like Piers Morgan, because if you are a real, I'm going to just be quite frank with you. If you are a real man and you have certain beliefs or you talk about or believe certain things that are talked about in the barbershop and you take that on television, you're almost guaranteed to be hated by half of the population. And because this style of television that Piers comes from is supposed to be general, the only people who were let in the door were people who were able to parrot certain narratives. If you're a real man, you got balls and you got masculine perspectives and you're willing to stand up when it comes to defending those perspectives with logic, they're not going to allow you on cable television. Let's just be honest here. So it's not surprising that Piers is one of these types of guys. He wanted him. It's not surprising to me because those are the only people that's going to get let in the door. So to get on TV, you kind of already have to play the game.
The entire discussion, debate, interview, whatever you want to call it, between Nick Fuentes and Piers Morgan.
Yep.
And the funniest part of it for me was towards the end, about an hour and a half in, where Piers Morgan is starting to grill Nick Fuentes on being inexperienced with women.
Yeah,
Now, this
that's
is
common now.
actually a weakness that Nick has.
That's common now.
I've seen him being interviewed or debating with women in the past. And he doesn't come off great because he doesn't have a huge amount of
A
experience.
lot of ladies will say they want these virtuous men who have like an amount of sexual control and they're not just sexually deviant, but then they value your opinion based on how much access you have to women, right? Like calling somebody an incel and saying that because you're an incel, you don't get to have a take on this topic is basically saying if you don't have experience with multiple women, then you shouldn't be taken seriously. And I think that the guys who have no incentive or no motive, like because he's Catholic in this sense, so he has no motive to just want to sleep with you. I actually think that those are the guys that are probably going to be more likely to tell you closer to the truth.
And Piers realizes he's got him on this He's like, yeah, you're a virgin. You need to have sex with a woman. And it's like, okay, Piers, is the discourse really reduced to calling our opponents virgins?
Exactly, right.
I mean,
it's
that's
immature.
very, very playground,
Yeah,
don't
it's
you
immature.
think? But also, it's not like you can hold yourself up as the model of masculinity when the Groyper curse has struck and Nick Fuentes' fans have dug around into your personal life on the internet.
Right.
And brought back quite a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And that made other people start looking into, well, hang on a second. If Piers is like, no, you need to get a woman and then you will be normal. Well, a lot of your relationship is actually very public facing, Piers.
Exactly. And it's not normal at all. It's not normal, and we have to stop trying to act like it's normal for women to just shit on their husbands. Because if he were to do anything close to that online to publicly embarrass her or humiliate her for any reason, he would be shamed into oblivion.
As in, you've put it in the
They would be campaigning for him to lose his job, his livelihood, because of something like that.
newspapers, or your wife puts it on Instagram.
Right.
And doesn't exactly come across very well, actually, Piers. It makes you look, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, like a literal cuckold.
Yeah, literally.
Whose wife regularly cheats on him.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what you appear to publicly be. Piers' wife seems to be basically brazenly contemptuous of him. Right? He reveals that when he met his wife, Celia Walden, he was bombing, giving a speech in front of 1,000 people.
Wow.
And everyone was jeering at him. No, who could have imagined? And the only person laughing was Celia, who was laughing at him.
Oh, no.
She was really laughing at my discomfort.
Well,
So-
he deserves everything he gets because he chose to be with a woman who doesn't even respect him, and he knew that from the beginning. And he's openly talking about that, so I know that he knew that. And if you choose to be with a woman who hates you for whatever reason, even if it's because of her ideology, like I don't understand for the life of me why men choose to date women who live by a worldview that teaches them to hate men. I don't understand that, but some dudes sign up for it anyway. And if you sign up for it, you get everything that comes with it. And part of that is just going to be you in a situation like Piers. We've normalized this and tried to make it seem okay. It's just snarky. It's been every sitcom. It's been every movie where the wife is just like this snarky, cutesy lady that always has a comeback towards her husband and doesn't respect him because he's a dunce. Like, that's been the narrative for a while now, so it's not surprising that it's actually manifesting in real life, but it's completely not normal. It's insane, actually. And you should never be with a woman who hates you. That's stupid.
Very first time he meets her, he is a clown to her.
Right.
He's a figure of fun to her. She thinks he is fucking ridiculous. And she really just doesn't seem to give a shit whether he exists or not. Piers admitted that Celia has forgotten their anniversary every single year since they tied the knot in 2010. Speaking on Lorraine, he revealed...
That's my job. I'm supposed to be the one that has so much going on that I forget about the anniversary, and then I, at the last moment, have to plan something like you do, like as a guy, right? That's my job. I'm supposed to forget the anniversary.
She's forgotten it for 9 consecutive years. It's just like I'm not in her airspace at all, so I have a wife who never remembers our anniversary. That's really unusual, Piers. It really makes it look like she doesn't love
My wife remembers the day we started dating in high school. And his wife doesn't remember his anniversary for 9 years straight.
Like, she doesn't really want to be with you. Like, she's not attracted to you. And you're actually a bit of a burden that she spends her time mocking. And I'm guessing it's
Tough.
literally that she's with you for the money.
Tough.
And possibly the status as well. And it just gets better from there. She admitted, no, she wasn't impressed at all with him. She joked that she wasn't too impressed with her first encounter and was unsure about even posing for a picture with him. So he came across as a loser and a simp. May 2005, seconds after we first met, I remember thinking, do I really want to have my picture taken with this guy? After he left Good Morning Britain, there was a double-page spread in The Sun that she posted on her Instagram that said literally, please hire my husband. I'm sick of having to look at him every morning.
Oh, yeah, you gave your balls away, brother. And this is the exact same thing that you were trying to talk against when Nick Fuentes was talking. And this is what happens so much. So they paint guys out to be misogynist for having certain standards for the women that they want to be around. And then when we see the results of their relationships when they don't have standards, it just essentially validates everything that Piers just tries to argue against. And it's funny because you'll present this to women and go, do you think that this is embarrassing? Do you think that this is appropriate for his wife to say and do these things? And there are so many that are just so disingenuous when it comes to this type of stuff. They'll just start going, oh, I'm sure she was just joking. I'm sure it's all a misunderstanding. And it's like, if I said stuff like this about my wife, I don't think people would consider it to be a misunderstanding or a joke.
She told The Sun, being married to Piers is basically one very long eye roll. But what people don't realize about Piers is he's usually very quiet at home because he's exhausted himself. The only reason I'm sad about him leaving Good Morning Britain, and the fact that I wake up and there he is staring back at me morning after morning. Unfortunately, he's got all of his energy back now, so please someone give him a job. Like, okay.
So she can have the pool boy come over? Or is she going to do the dude that washed the car in the Speedo? Which one? Why she needs so much free time? What's she doing with that free time?
Wife seems to have no respect for you, and she seems to genuinely not really like you very much, Piers.
Brother, I work from home, and my wife can't wait until I'm done with work. And I'm at home. I think that's just
and there are a weird number of articles that make Piers look just like an embarrassing simp, frankly. Apparently, he crashed his car on their first date because he was too busy staring at her legs.
Oh, man.
And he gets into an argument with some guy. They're following an incredibly hostile exchange. I was quite taken aback and asked if that happens to him, and he said, yeah, a lot. So he's just generally hated by the general public, right? Unashamedly sycophantic. He describes Celia in the resulting GQ article as ridiculously beautiful, inspiring equal doses of admiration, lust, and fear. Celia adds, I actually had a friend who had a crush on Piers, and I told her that she was mad. Like, that's not very encouraging from your own wife, Piers. We arranged to meet for the interview, and Piers managed to string it out over the course of 4 different meetings. He kept saying, yeah, there are a few things I didn't quite get, and each of these meetings ended up with us having more and more alcohol until eventually he declared his real motivations and says, the thing is, you tick every single one of my boxes. And I said, well, that's weird because you don't tick any of mine.
Oh, yeah, he likes to be humiliated, right? Isn't this like a thing amongst powerful people? And maybe I don't have power, right? I have a podcast. I don't have any power. So maybe I don't understand this, but isn't this like a common thing? I don't know how common it actually is, but ain't that like a thing where powerful dudes just like to get just shitted on and just like humiliated by the women that they're with or something like that? I don't know. But usually, the kink marriages don't last, usually.
And now look at me, cue a resigned sigh. I reckon that she was like this unattractive beta. He's insufferable. I'm not attracted to him at all. In fact, I think he's a clown. However...
Yeah, but because at first for some women, it's fun to have power over the man that they're with. When you're in like a kink relationship, it's fun to have power over the man that you're with, and you get to humiliate him, and he just takes it, and you get to stick it to the man in your relationship, and you're the one that has the power in the relationship. But eventually, that wears off, and it just becomes embarrassing that he's allowed to just be humiliated like this, right? And so it starts off as a bit, and then it ends up being like, I don't respect him because I can disrespect him anytime I want.
He is fabulously wealthy, isn't he? He does have 3 mansions, so, maybe I can just accept his gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I wasn't caving at all, so Piers started aggressively pursuing me in the most bizarre way possible.
Yeah, Piers, you're not a player, you a payer, brother.
Okay. Like, what an absolutely desperate simp Piers Morgan is. And of course, I wear the trousers, she says. She is, of course, the man of the house. She is the one who calls the shots because she is the one who is reluctantly consenting to the marriage, and he is the one who is desperate for her to like him. And really, I think it's his money that has leveraged her into this place.
Yeah.
And so, embarrassing. Very embarrassing. But then, like I said, the Groiper curse struck. And the Groipers started looking up her Instagram.
The files.
And, there was quite a lot on the Instagram that really was humiliating for Piers Morgan. Now, it's not bad enough that your wife publicly disrespects you in the newspapers, right? It's not bad enough.
Yeah, and then she's one of the writers of the articles that publicly disrespects you. That's crazy.
Basically, she says, yeah, I didn't find him attractive, and I'm kind of only with him because he love bombed me with gifts, and I realized he was super rich, and I could just be
Beta
a
male.
total bitch to him all the time. But the sort of things that she posts on her Instagram are really deeply humiliating for Piers. And I don't know if he knows this. In fact, I think he does know this, right? I mean, she's got, like, you know, here's him as a hairdryer blowing her hair. You know, where does anyone know where the off button is? Yeah. Okay, Piers Morgan's a blowhard, right? Okay, fair enough. That's banter.
That's
right?
not too bad, right?
But then you get ones like this.
And then you start to warm up.
Where she's...
It always starts with subtle disrespect, right? Then it starts to warm up. Then it starts to warm up. And next thing you know, you in this situation. It always starts subtle, though. It always starts subtle.
Handsy and hanging all over this guy. It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough. That's not that much. Why we all need a best boyfriend? It's like,
Piers
right,
is in the
so
chair.
some guy hugging her and Piers Morgan fuming in the corner. But then it gets just like more explicit.
Uh-huh.
Here she is in a very cozy embrace with Lenny Kravitz, reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris. He'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. Uh-huh. Right, okay.
Stuff.
So tried to shag Lenny Kravitz. Didn't manage it.
What a shame. Didn't work out. What a shame. I actually have to go back and be with my husband.
But may have been given on loan by his wife. I may be some time. Right, okay, yeah. So it implies she shagged this guy. Oh, Oswald, behave. Right, okay. Oh, you know, just...
Why is it just so, why is it just so, everything is just so sexual with this lady? It's like every post. Holy moly, calm down. Like, turn your freak down. It's a freak apocalypse out here. We are at a freaky that is at a biblical proportion. Like, the world can't withstand this amount of freak, brother. People got to turn their freak down. Jeez.
Very popular with men, and she's very handsy with men on her Instagram. Right, okay, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about here, Piers. If anyone's distracting enough to make you slice half your own head off, it's Mr. Lowe. Don't rush home, Piers. Oh, right, she's trying to shag.
Bro, it's like it doesn't even have anything to do with Piers and she bringing him into it. Like, Piers is just catching strays. She's just taking regular. Some of these are just regular. Like, this could be a regular picture with a regular guy. She could have said anything. And for some reason, she felt like it was necessary to completely go out of her way to bring up Piers Morgan to humiliate him. It's crazy.
Lowe? No. I can't remember this. An actor called Lowe. And then there's this one. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. And it's some guy washing a car and it pants.
Wow. I'll take being a Catholic virgin. I'll take being a Catholic virgin before I have a relationship where this is something that is considered to be normal. For sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure Piers is feeling pretty good about all of this. And then you've got this one where she's talking about the stigma of men with massive dicks. Obviously, Piers Morgan doesn't have that problem. At least she doesn't mention him having that problem.
Wow.
Anyway, my husband, Piers Morgan, doesn't like me to have male friends because he's convinced they want me to have sex. They want to have sex with me. It seems
I think he's worried about you wanting to have sex with them.
You want to have sex with them?
Yeah.
It seems that you're publicly humiliating your husband.
You're going out of your way to do
any other
it.
man on earth is desirable apart from him. But to be fair, all of this could just be passed off as, well, you know, it's just banter. It's just me. Ha ha ha. I'm just being
That's
so
what all of the feminists and women that are going to support her are going to say, definitely.
funny on my Instagram, humiliating my stupid, fat, annoying husband. Okay. That's not very nice. Doesn't seem very respectful of him. But I guess Piers Morgan is such a simp that he's prepared to accept the public humiliation for decades now. But that's not proof that she's done anything. I mean, is having an account on Ashley Madison proof, though?
Oh,
I think if your wife or husband has an account on Ashley Madison...
Isn't that the
then-
website that people used to use to find a way to cheat on their husband or wife? I'm pretty sure that's the website where husbands and wives who wanted to cheat on their husband or wife got on this website to cheat with people who had something to lose, basically. They wanted to cheat with other married people because they felt like they had something to lose or skin in the game or something like that.
It's probably fair to say they are definitely cheating on you, right? Because, I mean, that is the sole purpose
that was
of
literally
that
the whole
website,
point. Right.
to literally have extramarital affairs. That's the point of it. And of course, Piers Morgan's wife has an account on there. Like, that is wild. Absolutely wild. How much she seems to despise him. And so, put in that light, you think, well, all this talk of him being like, yeah, men and women are equal. Well, no, your wife is clearly superior to you in your relationship. So she doesn't think of herself as your equal. As far as she's concerned, you're punching up, right?
Right.
All of that seems like a kind of way of justifying how he's treated like such a beta in his own relationships. And of course, a few years back, she decided to go on a 5-week, quote, marriage sabbatical. Now, I'm completely sure, Piers, that her Ashley Madison account went completely untouched during this 5 weeks. The actual cuck. Like, I'm absolutely sure she wasn't just
bro, that's
non-stop
crazy,
cheating.
bro. I'm not gonna lie, the boomers are wilding out here, bro. In old age, the boomers are wilding.
Completely sure. Because, I mean, it's normal for white women to be like, yeah, I need to spend more than a month away from you, not really having any contact with you. And I have also, coincidentally, an account with Ashley Madison. There's nothing to worry about there. Don't you worry about it. I'm just going to
She's admitting it publicly. It's not even, you're not even doing it in private. You're openly doing it. You're openly saying these things. And I have to just believe that at this point, Piers has accepted it. He's willing to tolerate it. He's already married to it. What is he going to do? Get a divorce in a Western country where she's still going to get half of everything he owns? So it's like, yeah, this is just something you have to deal with, and you signed up for it because from the beginning, you knew that she didn't like you, and you decided to go into the relationship anyway. So just in the same way where you got to have accountability as a woman when you choose to be with a man that has certain vices, or he likes to cheat and then he cheats and then you get angry and act like you didn't marry the guy knowing he was a cheater. I have that same energy when it comes to dudes who marry women that they know hate them. Of course, you're not going to get good results when you're in a relationship with somebody that's supposed to love you who hates you.
Post on Instagram about how I'm shagging all of these other guys. Don't you worry about it. And of course, there is the long history of me saying you're really fucking annoying.
Wow.
And one of my girlfriends who had a crush on you, I think she was mad. I think she was just mad.
Looks like I'm going to be milking the Piers Morgan cow for the next however long this lasts. The Akash situation was 4 weeks, so I'll just keep updating you guys on anything that comes out, if he responds or anything like that. But this is absolutely insane. The type of stuff that men are expected to tolerate in marriages in Western countries is just like, it's damn near a humiliation ritual at this point. But he signed up for it. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a WRL, and give me the HBO special as a brother out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.